Okay, I moved the table off the workbench and got the piece of melamine for the shelf up here, getting ready to trim the end. I had to buy 2 4-bay sheets of melamine, 3/4 thick, to do the top and the shelf, and couldn't fit it in my vehicle, so I had to get a big box store to cut it for me. It had them cut each piece a little bit oversized so I could trim it here, because they didn't have a very good blade on their panel saw, and it's kind of chipped on the edges, so I needed to try to trim it up. With my circular saw, I've got a fairly new blade I just put on there, and excuse me, I want to trim it and see if it chips up or not. I put this painter's tape on here to try to prevent chipping. That sometimes helps when you're cross-cutting melamine or veneers or laminates. So we'll give it a test run here and see if it's going to chip or not. Although my clamp's in the way, I need to move the clamp out of the way. Well, let's peel the tape back and see how we did. Not too bad. A couple few little fine chips. Don't really have the right blade. I need a alternating bevel tooth blade, which I don't have. So, but I think this will be good enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edge band this with the white vinyl edge banding iron on. Excuse me. And so I think it'll be alright. You can always go back with a little white touch-up crayon and run it across the edge there and fill those in, and you'll never even notice it. Now that I've got the ends trimmed, we need to trim the sides. And I didn't have a straight edge long enough, so I went today and got this long straight edge. It comes in 2 pieces, and you got a splicer here to splice it together with screws to hold it straight and tight. So I'm going to try that out. Well, there we have the shelf. I discovered when I was cutting the ends that even with the tape on there, it chipped just a tiny bit. But I did find out that on the bottom side, it didn't chip at all. So I think we're going to take this bottom side, which has no chips at all, and make that the top of the shelf. And then when we do the top of the table, we'll do the same thing. We'll put the best side down when we cut it. This one appears to be pretty much the same on both sides. A little bit of dirt spots on here, but I think they'll wash off. So I'll set this aside, and then we'll cut the top, and then we'll start edge banding. Alright, we've got the top laid up here now. We're going to trim all four sides of it and get it ready for edge banding. Well, it looks like I made a little boo-boo right here. Cut into my bench top. I didn't have this top sitting exactly straight, far enough out. So I cut into my workbench there, but that's not a big deal. So we got the top ready to edge band, the shelf ready to edge band, so we'll get started on that next. Okay, we got the top cleaned off. The dust vacuumed and swept up off the floor. Got myself blowed off a little bit. Get some of that dust off from the circular saw. And we're ready to start edge banding. I've got the iron heating up. So I'm just going to cut a piece for the end a little bit longer than what we needed. Got a piece of sheet metal steel here to set my iron on. They don't give you much excess in width to hang over, so you got to get it fairly pretty flush the first time. Cut the ends flush real carefully with a utility knife. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you stick it over just a little bit and you take a file and file it flush. In fact, you want it to stick over just a little bit so you don't cut it too short. You take a file, just push down on the file on the forward stroke, not on the back stroke. You don't want to take a chance of catching it and peeling it off. We'll come back after we do all the way around the perimeter and touch up the top and bottom edges with the file or a piece of sandpaper on the block, and just kind of hit it lightly to bring it all flush. Well, there we have all the top edges. I don't know if the camera will focus in on that, but it's pretty flush with the file. So I'll turn it over and do the same thing on the bottom side. But I think I'll do that off camera, and then we'll do the shelf, and then we'll be ready to mount the shelf and the top. Went ahead and started on the edge banding of the shelf, and ran out of edge banding. I did the two ends off camera, and I ran out of edge banding, so I had to go get some more edge banding. So I'm getting ready to do the two sides of the shelf now. Well, that takes care of putting all the banding on and filing it flush all around. Now I'm just going to wipe the shelf off with some naphtha, clean it up a little bit. Well, there's the shelf all cleaned up. We'll move over to the table now and get ready to mount the shelf and then mount the top. Well, we're getting ready to put the shelf on the table. I've got it sitting on a little stool here and roll it over close. Slide it into place. I made the shelf where it would overhang about 3/4 on each end and on the sides. Just need to get it in position. Put a little block of wood to position it. About right there. Could come down a little bit more. So I'm going to clamp it in place so it won't move. Just go put that about out even with the edge of the leg. And I'm thinking about standing this up on the end to put screws in from the back. I need to find a piece of cardboard to lay down so I don't scratch this all up. Well, I got some cardboard laid down. I can stand this thing on the end now. Go ahead and drill these holes. Looks like that's going to work good, so I'll go ahead and go around and drill all of them. Okay, I don't think I missed any screws. But I just realized I probably should have put the top on first so I could get to those screws and then put this on. Now when I put the top on, it'd be hard to get to those screws, but I could probably do it from the sides. So let me lay this thing down and get that top clamped on there. Top plate on there, and I got it centered. I got a 2-inch overhang on each side and a 1-inch overhang on the ends. And so I'll clamp it in place. I think these bigger clamps will reach from the side. Just barely. No. Stop there. ahead and put the rest of the screws in off camera. It's too hard to get the camera positioned to see in between there. The clamp it got wedged up against my ladder there. Knocked an old guitar case over. Well, there we have the finished table. Finally done. A few 2x4s, some pieces of melamine, and several days of labor, and some paint, and we got a nice looking table. As I said at the beginning of this series of videos, this table is going to be used to set my CNC router on. It comes as a kit, and I'll just build it right on top of the table here. Give me a good flat surface to work on. And I made it just to fit this kit, so it should work out pretty good. I'm real pleased with it. Turned out real nice. I like that red color. That red and white go good together. Well, this concludes the 4-part series on this table build. If you haven't watched the other 3 videos, be sure and go back and watch them and see the whole process from start to finish. I'm planning on doing a series of videos on the assembly of the CNC router kit once I get all my parts in, so that'll be coming up soon. Please subscribe. I've got several videos out. And feel free to leave comments. And thanks for watching.